Welcome back, folks, to another exciting episode 392 of Geeks Are Wired podcast, a podcast about video games, movies, TV, comic books, technology, and TLDR, the Internet of Things. Today we have our gracious host, Bill.
Yes, that is my name. Congratulations.
Anthony.
Hello.
That's his name.
And Steven. Why don't you say hi, Steven? Howdy. There he is. Okay, so if you want to get in contact with us, you can send us an email at geeksarewired@gmail.com. Our phone number is 801-896-4335, which ironically spells out geek. That's 801-896-GEEK. So cool, Bill. I love that. That's it. It never gets old. You can also support us on Patreon at patreon.com/geeksarewired, where you can get the podcast early, gain access to Discord channels, and now you get secret exclusive access to our second podcast, Geeks Are Wireless.
Yes.
Which I almost didn't say that because I wanted it to be a secret. If you want to know what it's called, but we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
So, all right. So what do we got on the top of the list today? Who wants to start? If nobody's starting, then I'm going to fire away with...
I'm totally doing it.
Okay, go ahead.
With Bad Guys. Have you watched a mystery movie?
Bad Guys mystery movie?
No, if you watch a mystery movie.
Oh, yeah,
Bad
totally.
Guys. The bad guys do not use the iPhone.
Bad guys never use iPhones?
Bad guys never use iPhone.
Are they up on burners?
They're using, Windows phones.
Oh, Windows phones. That's so
Wait.
sinister.
Didn't Apple just say that bad guys can't use it? Or have they just never used it in movies?
They've never used it because they've told people they could. That
Okay.
Apple said.
Oh, wait a minute. So Apple, the company, actually told a
Yes.
production company, hey, James Bond villain can't use an iPhone, even though they always use Sony. But,
Yeah.
like something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, that villain
Yeah.
from
Or Knives Out.
Knives
If
Out.
you watch Knives Out, who's the murderer?
I don't know. I haven't watched Knives Out yet.
Oh, you should watch Knives Out. Well, I kind
I
of
heard
may have
that it was
spoiled
good.
something with you.
Oh, no, that's okay.
We own it now, so
Yeah?
it's really good.
Is
Watch
it really
in
good?
theaters and, yeah.
Nice. My roommate actually just watched it too. He told me, he's like, dude, you got to watch Knives Out.
Yeah.
The movies that I just recently watched that were kind of not bucket list movies. I don't know, like movies that I felt like I needed to catch up on or get with the program with were Parasite. I watched
How
Parasite.
is that? I haven't seen that yet.
It is an absolute trip. Parasite is a trip, man. It really is. And, I think it was great that it won the Oscar and all that for being a foreign film. You know what I mean? But it's such an interesting movie. It was just like, I didn't really know what to expect. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But Knives Out is like a murder mystery. Isn't it like Clue, kind of? Or like that,
Yes.
What was that other one with Henry Cavill and... it wasn't Johnny Depp in it or something like that, and they were on the train. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's kind of like, on the Orient Express, Murder on the Orient Express,
okay.
That one. So I'm guessing it's kind of like that,
More
Like
no,
in
it's modern.
but like a murder mystery,
Yeah.
like that. Do you know what I mean? Like
Kind of like Clue-ish, but
exactly, where it's like, who is it? And there's lots of twists, like, oh my god, that guy knows her, and we didn't know that, like kind of stuff. Yeah, so I watched Parasite. I watched Zombieland 2. And
What do you think?
it wasn't as good as the first one, but it was fun.
I enjoyed the 10-year reference.
Yeah. I liked it. You know what I mean? I really did. I'd totally watch it again. I don't know. I don't even know if I own... Do I even own... Or I guess I can't ask you because you're not going to talk. I don't even know. I don't think I
we have
own-
a mystery guest that may or may not hop on the podcast. This is not the first time. Don't worry about it. You are not the first one to do this. We have literally had many mystery guests on.
Mystery guest, yeah.
Sometimes they speak, sometimes
I
they
will
don't.
pay somebody-
It happens.
I will pay somebody $5 if they can guess who it is. She's a famous author. I'll just say that. But Zombieland, I don't think I own that one. Do you know what I mean? So I don't feel like obligated to buy the second one so that I have the set. Do you know what I mean? Because like when you buy a Star Wars movie, you're like, I want them all. Or
So-
Harry Potter.
I bought the first one digitally when I bought the tickets because I got the first one for like a couple dollars when I bought the tickets. For the second one, I was like, oh yeah, why not? I enjoyed the first one, so
Totally, that's awesome, man. And then the other one I watched, we were gonna rent Knives Out actually. My roommate was gonna rent it, so he rented Zombieland 2, and we did like a movie thing on Saturday. And he rented Zombieland 2 and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
So what do you think about? So is the video extended? The extra like 20 minutes of footage
On what?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I don't know.
Because they re-released it with additional 20 minutes in it.
Oh, did they
Yes.
really? Oh, I didn't even know that. Man, you're so up on it. So see, now I feel like I'm already... I caught up with the movie, but now I'm missing 20 minutes of it.
But you may
honestly,
have
I don't
seen
know because he redboxed it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't really know.
So it may have had it.
But I really like that movie, man. And so we were talking, about movies. And do you have like a favorite director, or like I don't know? I guess you can't really have a favorite producer because the producer is like the person that produces the movie. It's
But
kind of
a lot of directors have turned into producers. A lot
Right.
of actors and actors.
So it's kind of like if somebody if your favorite actor produces a movie, then you know that they signed off on this movie, so you're like, well, I trust it then, right? That kind of thing. Do you have a favorite director?
I used to, but now it's... See, I like Nolan. I like...
Nolan's
Tim.
great.
I like Burton.
Oh, Burton. See, yeah, I'm glad that we're talking about this because I'm sitting there thinking in my head because right after I watched that movie, I love Tarantino. Tarantino's got to be my favorite director.
I have a hit or miss.
See, and
I like early Tarantino.
And so many people are. I just am like, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is about his movies, but it's... I don't know if, in all honesty, if you were to put a piece of filmography in front of me or movie or whatever, I don't think that I'd be like, well, that's got to be Tarantino. I don't think I'm that keyed into him, but I just know that every time Quentin Tarantino directs a movie, he's going to have my attention for the entire thing. Like, I'm going to be zoned in on that movie. Like,
Right. So my first movies of his I wasn't in on were the Kill Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I tried. Watched the first one, like, I don't like it. Second one came out, and I was like, let's watch it. I'm like, I didn't like the first one. Fine, I'll give it a shot. Nope, still don't like it. I liked Dogtown? No. Lords? No.
Oh my God, not Lords of Dogtown.
I know,
That's like that skateboarding movie.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I'm
Venice
screwing this
Beach.
up.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, I liked Reservoir Dogs. I liked Four Rooms.
Uh-huh.
4 Rooms is amazing.
Okay, so you like early. You do then.
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs. What about Pulp Fiction?
I like it, but I'm not like in on it.
Uh-huh.
Inglourious Bastards. I have tried to watch 3 times. I have
Oh.
fell asleep in it.
Man,
all 3
no
times.
way. Okay,
I don't know.
let me ask you a question then. This is a completely different movie, but on the same subject of falling asleep in movies that people think are... I shouldn't say people think. Movies that are probably great. Do you know what I mean? Because like you keep falling asleep in Inglourious Bastards.
I know.
And it's probably great.
And I was
for
like,
you.
I'll give this a chance, but I'm like, I don't know why. I'm just like, the long dialogue, what's the Western one? that he did?
The crazy... Great...
The Hateful Eight?
Hateful Eight, that's it, yep.
I made it through that one.
Uh-huh.
It's starting to pull me back into this stuff, but not quite.
See, and the dialogue is why I love those movies so much. Like Inglourious Bastards, especially, man. I just am locked in. But you know what? I fell asleep in 3 times.
What?
Man of Steel. I have never made it from beginning to end of Man of Steel, and that's the one with Henry Cavill, like his Superman movie.
Yeah.
Can't do it, dude. And I hear it's amazing. You know what I mean?
So there's definitely the swing on that movie. There are people that love it, people that hate it.
Really? Is that?
Yeah.
How did you feel about it? I mean, you're a big DC fan.
At first, I was kind of like, then I was like, no, there's still they give good justification. He's constantly fighting to save. He at least smiled in that one, unlike Justice League when he's just like mad.
I think
mad all the time.
I think I like Henry Cavill a lot more now that he's the Witcher.
Yeah.
Now that he's Geralt, now I'm just like, all right, I'll give Superman a pass, I guess.
Yeah. I know. I think that's how it is, too. I'm like, and he wasn't a bad Superman. By any means.
Dude, that guy's body is like Superman. Like, seriously, that guy like is so sculpted.
I watched a YouTube video about his exercise routine
For the Witcher?
Yeah.
How cool was that, man?
Yeah.
I like that I liked his explanation for these things. Do you know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, we look at people like that, like Chris Hemsworth or Chris Pratt, when they're playing Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor and now Geralt and Superman and Batman, and we're thinking that they're doing the body transformation for a purely aesthetic reason. But I like how Cavill was like, no, man, you guys don't understand. Like, I got to whip this sword around. It's freaking heavy. And I got to make sure that I can do that for 20 takes. And that's just incredible. Like, that's a great explanation. And it actually makes me respect it more. Because, we do want it to be aesthetically pleasing. That's an obvious. But there is a deeper reason why they get so buff for these things. And he's right, man. I mean, could you imagine filming those fight scenes multiple times. Like, it's exhausting.
Well, okay, Schwarzenegger, huge, for his prime, like 80s, top of his prime. Red Sonja, he talked about being tired doing Red Sonja. That's real full-size sword.
Oh, man.
He's like, man, this is... I am, Schwarzenegger. I am what the entire industry wants to be.
I know. I bet Keanu Reeves is kind of like, man, I get lucky. I just get to shoot guns and move around real fast. But still exhausting. Come on. I mean, you got to, I know that's got to be exhausting still, but still, it's kind of like, it's not like whipping around a 20-pound sword every take.
You have to, can't let it swing too far. And,
man, I mean, that's
fly out your hand.
I don't know. Man, that's on a different level. Like, it truly is. Like, good for them, you know what I mean? They're true artists when they really get into a role like that and treat it as such. Do you know what I mean? Like, he never once says, like, oh, man, I just love this body. Like, we've heard, like, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth. Well, Chris Hemsworth actually dogs on it. But, they kind of say, oh, man, yeah, I'm ripped kind of deal. You get that vibe. Chris Hemsworth he hates it because he likes to eat a lot. You know what I mean? And he's like, when I'm not shooting a movie, I'm like freaking chowing down. And they've shown like pictures of him like at the beach when he's not.
Oh yeah.
And he's got some I don't want to say chub, but he's got a normal looking body. Let's put it.
He's
that
got a
way.
six pack underneath his keg.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? But it's like because he likes his
Fat
whiskey,
Thor.
He likes his not that bad, but it's like I can respect that because I feel like if I was an actor acting in movies like that, I think that the aesthetic, like looking at myself in the mirror that ripped, would help me get into the role. Like, yes, I am Superman. See that? I look strong. Oh, okay, I can do this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or Batman or whoever. But then, like, after it's done, I'm like, no, I want to be Steven again. So bring on the ice cream, give me some whiskey, and you know what I mean?
But that's why you're maybe doing what is you more. Because, like, Stallone, he ended up gaining a bunch of weight for Copland. And he was like, I will never do that again. He got out of shape, and he was like, it was so much work to get back into shape from this swing. Because he wasn't like a bodybuilder that does those swings. And even Schwarzenegger, he actually didn't do the swings. That's why he wasn't like huge like the modern Mr. Universes are. Right. Because they do bulking and they do cutting. He was just big and would pile on. So he would always be in this massive muscle
state. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, man. That stuff is too cool, man. Too cool.
And that's also the other reason why a lot of bodybuilders get out after like in their 30s to 40s.
It's gotta be rough.
Because it's not rough on your skin. Your skin isn't as elastic as you get older, and they've been doing this year after year. Bulk up, get big, and then cut all the fat out.
Yeah,
and then try to look good.
Yeah, we actually stayed at an Airbnb when I was doing a rotation in Alabama, and the couple was a pair of cops, and one of them was super into that stuff, and I asked him, you know what I mean, because we've talked a lot about diet, and it's kind of like fun to see other perspectives on that, people that you don't see all the time. And man, he was like, it just sucks, man. Do you know what I mean? Because I want to be healthy. Like, this is what he was telling to me. He's like, it just sucks because I'm always hungry. Okay, he's sitting in there in his kitchen. He's cooking trays of chicken breast. Yeah. He's cooking all this brown rice and broccoli, and he's weighing it, you know what I mean, and putting in these. He's like, dude, I'm constantly doing dishes. Yeah. I'm constantly doing food prep. It sucks. He's like, but I feel like this is how I can be healthy. Do you know what I mean? Because some people are good at just being like, well, I'm going to cut out this. I'm just not going to eat that. You know what I mean?
Or just count the calories, or just be mindful about it.
Or portion control and stuff like that. And I wish I was better at that. I'm good at it sometimes.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? But other times it's just like, I know I don't need another ice cream bar.
Yes.
But I want another ice cream bar. Yeah. And the want with me always wins. You know what I mean? Like, I really have to push it down.
I've been finding semi-replacements. Like, nuts have been pretty good versus the chips. And I don't want to eat a giant bag of nuts versus, 12 bags of full-size chips. Or 12 full bags. Like, I'll just sit there. I'm like, I'll just like a cup of nuts. And I'm like, I'm just like 400 calories, like that. But I feel okay. And I feel fulfilled. When I burn through a 1,200 calorie bag of Doritos.
Yeah. It's hard.
I want another one, and I feel terrible.
You know what's even better?
What?
You get the Doritos, and you also get the nacho cheese.
Yes. Oh, and then you dip it. Queso
then
and
it turns
Doritos.
into like a 2,000 calorie
delicious
dinner.
Is what it is. But you know what? You look at queso though. Next time you get it, not as bad as I would have thought it was. Calorie wise, not caloric wise. I was going to say, but calorie wise, calorically. It's not as bad. You know what I mean? I was looking at it and I was like, wow, this doesn't have a lot of added sugar. It's not like if you were on a ketogenic diet, I feel like you could make Cheese Whiz work in your diet. You're not going to be able to do the tortilla chips, of course. You're going to have to find some other substitute like pork rinds or, whatever, like, I don't know, almond flour tortilla chips or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you could make it work because it's not that horrible. I mean, there's a crap ton of sodium in it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But, like, I thought it was going to actually be worse. But also, how much is a
serving, though?
Like a couple tablespoons, like 2 tablespoons or a third of a cup sometimes.
Add up really fast, depending on which one you get.
Exactly. But see, when you're on one of those diets, anyway, when I'm on one of those diets, I measure everything out, I feel like, you know what I mean? And I definitely put the jar back in the fridge. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the big thing, is when I'm on a diet, I take out what I'm going to eat, and I commit. Yeah. I'm like, all right, this is 2 tablespoons, is 4 carbs. I can have that, but I can only have one of these right now.
Not even that. I mean? That just helps in general. Like I said, the nuts. Oh, wait, dump it in a little cup. I'm like, this is what I'm eating. And I eat it a little slower. Eat it.
Yep. You savor it, right?
Me is my free will gets ahead of me.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you could have another one.
Yes. That's me.
But at least, but then you have to, you're adding difficulty. You're adding steps into this. So I filled up this cup. I ate it. Can I have another one? I have to go fill this cup up again. I'm adding steps. I'm adding difficulty to this. It's not just easy. It's not just this giant bag in front of me.
Yeah, but to me, that's worth it.
Well, no, it can't be worth it. You're willing to go past these
I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't work that way in my head.
You will end up eating less
because
of these steps.
Instead of having the bag of chips right next to me, and I can just continually eat out of it.
Yeah, if you have to get up and engage and go to get it,
Yeah.
It's not as effective for me as it would be for you, is all I'm saying.
We need, like,
though I could work
house with the living room on the bottom floor and the kitchen on the top floor. And then it's like, you got to keep all your food up there. So every time you want another bag of chips or something, you got to walk up 6 flights.
Except for it gets delivered up there, too, because you're not taking it up. First time you go shopping, it's like staying on the first floor.
Yeah, basically. So I noticed you have the Witcher thing pulled up.
Yes. Toss a coin to your Witcher, ladies and gentlemen.
I did read the first book. It's like a series of short stories for it.
Yeah.
It's called The Last Wish. They changed some interest. It was good, but they changed some. They have some interesting stuff they changed in the show, and I'm not sure why they did it. And I can't say without spoiling, so there's that.
Well, season 2's been.
But like, there's a yeah, of course, but
and they actually said too. I actually watched a video on season 2. They are going to revisit some of the stories from the first book still, which I thought was cool because I thought that what it sounded like before was that the first season was going to be the first book. Like they were going to take things from the first book
and then a little bit more.
Yeah,
because like there's a point where the Witcher meets up with a witch, wizard, whatever you want to call her. And that's where the book ends. The Last Wish ends. That's where it ends. Oh. And that's the part where I'm kind of like... Basically, she knows what the Last Wish was in the book, whereas in the show, she doesn't know.
Okay.
And I'm not sure why they changed that, because it makes the conflict later on in the show weird.
Huh. I wonder
Maybe
if
it goes that way in the books,
like that in the video games. I think they went that route.
I don't know. The only one I've played was the third one, and I don't think that was that book. No, it was much later on.
Did you beat that one?
No.
Yeah. I have met
it takes like
one person that has ever beat that game.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh my god. It was like the best game ever. It's one of the I would really, really honestly I can't right off the top of my head I can't think of a better PS4 game.
Oh, okay, PS4 game.
Do you know what I mean? Well, did it come out on PS?
It's on Steam too. That's what I was playing.
Oh, okay,
on.
You're playing on PC. So in terms of like consoles, I guess like I really couldn't think of a better one. That's what I played it on first.
Breath of the Wild.
I have it on
Breath of the Wild.
I had it on. No, I like The Witcher way more than
Breath of the Wild.
But I had it on PC later, and that one I haven't put nearly as many hours into. But the aesthetics are like way better.
Yeah, so I do like The Witcher 3 was good. Like as far as the game goes, I just have this problem with open world games like that where I like explore the heck out of an area and then I get bored.
Stuff, and then you're like, oh my god.
Well, I don't get bored. I just get tired of it.
You're right.
You forget there's a main quest.
Yeah, and then the last time I booted it up, I think I was playing as who's the girl?
Ciri.
Ciri, yeah. I was playing as her, and Yeah, that's where I ended. I think I got to the second mission that you play as her.
Yeah.
It was fun, but I just booted it up, played 5 minutes, I'm not really feeling this, and turned it off, and then I never went back.
Those are like that, you know what I mean? And to The Witcher's credit, though, the side quests in that had some great story. So it was it's not like Skyrim.
I was going to say, what about the Elder Scroll games?
You know what I mean?
I've never finished one of those Elder Scroll games.
Me neither.
Aren't some of the side quests slightly generated too, randomly? At least in Skyrim? I thought they were like that.
The dungeons might be.
Some of them.
Yeah, stuff but the main side quests, the Thieves Guild or the Brotherhood.
Right. And see, some of those have great storylines, too. But some of the little side quests do as well. Some of the little side quests do have really good storylines, but some of them don't. In The Witcher, I felt like it was all good.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this
I guess,
is so
there
interesting.
is entire things
oh my
about
gosh, you know?
Elder Scrolls being oh, look at this, terrible dialogue.
Did they even announce anything on, the next... What is Skyrim? What would that be numbered? Do you know what I mean? Those big ones, because there's Morrowind, there's Oblivion.
Well, Skyrim was 5.
Oh, okay, so it was the Elder Scrolls.
It would be
5.
technically 6.
Okay, so the next one's going to be 6, because you can't count the MMO as one of those numbered ones. I don't think.
No, you can't. But I think that's what they were
trying to do.
Not necessarily trying to do, but I think they were trying to make it replace it.
Oh, okay.
So it's also trying to remember what.
That and you're kidding yourself. They're not going to release a 6. They're just going to keep remaking Skyrim.
Well, the next gen console's on its way out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it got ported to the dot. So
it got ported to the freaking VR.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But I mean, it got ported to the dot, the assistant.
You can play Skyrim on your dot.
Yeah.
Yes.
On your Echo Dot.
How do you do that?
You have to load the skill, and then
you load the skill, and then just say you just want to play
Skyrim.
And how do you play it?
It's kind of like those old turn-based, text-based or text editor.
Oh, so it talks to you, and it's
this is what the room looks like. What do you want to do?
Yeah, and
no way.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, and
that's cool.
Sometimes you'll choose an option, and it's it plays what the outcome was, and then it was obviously bad, so bad that you can't get away from that, and so it just rolls back.
Wow. So it's almost like an auto D&D kind of thing where you can just play with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you have you don't have to have a physical dungeon
all
master.
The
dot is the dungeon master basically.
Yeah. So
very cool. That's actually kind of cool.
And some of the dialogue it has is pretty comical too.
That is so cool. And it is Skyrim though. Wow.
Yeah.
That is so crazy, man.
So I thought I remember hearing about this a while ago, and I guess there's not much update. But they are still working on 6. So CES 19 or 18.
Is this going to be another Half-Life 3?
Oh.
I have news for you.
I don't think so.
That's not Alex? Because I know about Alex.
You do know about Half-Life Alex?
Yes, which is a prequel.
That comes out this month, right?
It's not Half-Life 3, it's a prequel.
Yes.
And it's also only for VR.
Yeah.
Okay, so you already know about the Half-Life
Yes, I do know
Alex.
about it.
My roommate was
I knew about it 2 or 3 months ago.
Okay.
My roommate was contemplating getting VR just for that game, but that's a hard one, man. Do you know what I mean? It's hard. I know that it's a full AAA title, but I don't know, man. It's just so tough to... I mean, how much does a Vive cost? Or
the first one's not
$600?
Too bad. It's not necessarily the Vive. It's more the hardware to drive it.
On your PC.
Yeah, because you can drive it with some, you could technically probably drive it with Bill's PC, but you'd get motion sick so fast.
Because the frame rate's not going to be smooth.
Frame rate's not going to be smooth. It's going to be super laggy.
I don't have I have an onboard Intel video card.
Okay.
That's why I said technically, but it would not be a good experience, and you would not want to do it, and it'd be so blurry.
Fallout 76, kind of.
Except for when it crashes.
I think that...
It's only 3 minutes in.
I never played any Fallout game. You know that? I've never played one Fallout game.
I got a small, mini nuke of them.
I see that.
So, do you like to have color in your games?
Color?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Then
absolutely.
I don't think you'd like Fallout 4.
Really? Is
like Fallout, because when I got Fallout 4, I kind of played it honestly, and I'm sorry for anybody who lives here. It reminds me of New Mexico. Because everything's dead. It looks dead.
Well,
it's not fun.
That's the idea.
I know that. I know it's the idea.
Nuclear wasteland.
But it's just so boring and depressing.
4 or Vegas?
I didn't play that. I have only played 4.
I heard that Vegas was the best one.
So
I could see that.
It's back and forth.
Different.
Some people like them for their various reasons. Vegas is a little more straightforward. You don't need your handheld as much. Vegas or 4 is a lot more
and then is,
building on your character and your weapons.
76 something people just don't talk about anymore.
Oh no, there's still talk, but they usually talk about how bad it is.
I know. That's like, I'm wondering if it's going to be one of those like games where we don't talk about that game.
Because I know the Outer Worlds was made by the people that did Fallout Vegas, and the Outer Worlds is really great. Have you played that one, Anthony? The Outer Worlds. If you like Fallout, you should try that game because it is colorful and it's really the locations are very different, and because you go to different planets, you know what I mean. And so I enjoyed it.
Did you play Destiny?
Yes.
How close is it to Destiny?
No, it's nothing like Destiny.
Okay, good.
It's still like Fallout in the sense that like it's a different type of shooter. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like that Fallout shooter. That was what my friend was trying to explain to me. This isn't like Doom where you just go blast everything. You got to like be strategic like on what you do because you have the slow down time and then you've got the thing that pops up where there's the weakness on the head or the leg or whatever.
Is it single player then?
Yeah,
okay.
It's single player. The whole thing is single player.
That's what I didn't like about Destiny. You could play it single player, but it was multiplayer.
Yeah.
You had to play online.
Yeah, and it's only fun when you have somebody with you too.
Yeah.
Like I agree with that because I played Destiny 1 by myself and I was like, I don't want to, and I don't want to go out there and make friends on the internet.
Well, and then my main issue was that like I had friends that really, really, really play Destiny a lot, and I hate it when people carry me.
Oh.
And so that's one reason why I didn't like the game.
I played with my wife Destiny 1 and 2, and that was a better experience because at least you have somebody to talk to, and it's like, hey, yeah, you know what I mean? We're in the same room and we're playing online together, but it's still like, oh, okay, this is fun now. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because it's really meant to be played like that. It's kind of like a game like
well, any of the MMOs are
Ghost Recon Wildlands and the new Breakpoint. It's like, yeah, you could play that single player, but it's so much more fun with 2 people plus. You know what I mean? So, but I do understand what you're talking about with the, going back to the open world games that have all these little things to do. It's like, the Assassin's Creed games. It's kind of like, oh man, I want to make a cooler ship. Oh, I want to, with 4. I'm talking about 4. Yeah. But then like at some point you do so much of that stuff and you get fatigued to the point where you're like, well, next time I play, I'll start on the story missions, and then that never comes.
So what was weird is that like that same thing happened to me with Breath of the Wild, and then I got back into it like 9 months later, and was thinking about restarting, and then didn't, and then I just like binged it. Like that wasn't a problem for me anymore. I didn't get fatigued.
Yeah, I need to beat that one, which is weird because I almost did. I got 3 of the ancient beasts or whatever.
What one are you missing?
The camel. Is it a camel?
Is that the one in the desert?
I think so. Because I beat the fire one and the elephant one, the water one.
What's your favorite one?
I liked the water area the best.
That's where most I think that's the first one that most people do. Yeah. Because that's kind of where the game steers you. And I really liked it. And I got depressed because they spent a lot of time on that one. And then the rest of them are just like, they don't put a lot of time into it, in my opinion. And a lot of people feel that way.
Because it was a bird, right? And then like a spider?
Yeah, salamander.
Salamander, that's what
you have a salamander, a camel, then the bird, falcon, whatever you want to call it, and then the elephant,
Yeah. So I got 3 of them. I just didn't do the 4th one. But I don't know. I just kind of... I puttered out on that one. I'll beat it eventually.
You could probably beat it as is. Like, do you have good weapon and armor?
No, I don't think so. Do you know what I
mean? Are you good
at
parrying?
That was my biggest thing, like with the lasers, parrying the lasers. That was hard, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And it took me a while to get that down because, I got to a point where that was important, really important, and I had basically been like, "Oh, I don't want to deal with
spoilers." It's really important for the boss fight,
the final.
Yes.
Yeah, so
you have to know. I didn't know how to do it, and I wasn't I kept not knowing what to do. I was wasting all my ancient arrows.
Yeah, those
not doing any damage.
Oh.
So, yeah, you need to parry. That's the only way to beat... I don't think it's the only way to beat that stage of the fight, but it's pretty hard otherwise.
It's going to make it a more enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
Parrying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked Breath of the Wild a lot. I didn't... When I first played it, I was kind of like, God, I hate games that do the... my weapons break so freaking often.
I hated that at first, but... It makes you try different play styles. So you can figure out, do I like spears? do I like two-handed swords? Or do I like the swords where I can, like, stab you?
Yep.
Stab really fast. So, and my other favorite thing about that game is just that it's, like, really, really beautiful. Like, you can just, like, sit on top of a mountain and actually, like, enjoy the scenery. And
absolutely.
if you go out to the ocean when it's sunset or sunrise, it's not actually sunset because you wouldn't see the sunrise on that side at least. Like, it's setting over the water. And apparently it's really cool looking. I haven't done that. But,
I haven't done it yet.
like, I've only seen video of it.
That's cool, though. I think it's a beautiful game as well, and it runs really well. And it's amazing that you could play something that intense, on the go.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool that they made it like that, I'm more of a Saints Row guy myself.
Which one?
I actually been playing on my Switch Saints Row the Third. I never played it.
Is that
before,
the one where
it's actually pretty hilarious? Like,
is that the virtual world one?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I know that the third
I really
one,
like the
it's kinda
virtual one.
I think. How many are there now? 5? Because there's like Saints Row the Fourth, and I think that one had to do with like superheroes or something, or maybe that's the virtual world one.
I don't know. I
never played number 4, but I got 3 on my Switch, and it's awesome.
I didn't finish the game, but I got pretty far into it.
It's funny, It's just kind of hilarious. Like, you really just can't take it seriously, and that's what I like about it. It's like, sometimes, like, Grand Theft Autos can get a bit heavy, or, like, Red Dead Redemption, they can get heavy, like, emotionally, and it's, like, morally, too, because these are, like, real serious concepts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus Saints Row, where it's like, if you take this seriously, you're dumb. Because this is so ridiculous. You know what I mean?
The fourth one starts out with, like, Earth getting invaded by aliens, and then just everything. It's the Matrix, basically.
Right. Oh, okay.
And, like, your group of people are the only ones that... I think you're the only ones that know it's a simulation.
Oh, so you like the one from the Matrix? That's cool, yeah. And then there's one called, like, Gat Out of Hell?
Yeah.
Because that's the main guy?
Yeah.
And is that a numbered one, or is that DLC for the fourth one?
It's DLC for the fourth one, I think.
Okay. So,
because I have it, like, I got it on a Steam sale. I got, like, all of them for, like, $20.
Yeah, I love that. I actually just started playing Just Cause 2. And I have Just Cause 3 because it was on a Steam sale for, like, $3. And I was like, yeah, I'll try that. And those are fun, too. Those are, like, the Saints Row of, tactical shooters or some of the third-person shooters. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, this is kind of like Ghost Recon, but crazier. You know what I mean?
Answer about your Elder Scrolls 6. It'll come out after Starfield.
What's Starfield? Are they doing a space one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
That's going to come out on the next-gen consoles.
I like that.
Sometime late 2020 to 2021.
I'll be into that.
So which means Elder Scrolls 6 is not till 2021, 2, 3.
Well, at least they're getting us something before.
Well, when was Skyrim
released?
10 years. 2012? Or is it earlier than that?
I think it was earlier than that.
Because at this point we're getting into, like...
Because I played,
like Duke Nukem territory.
I think I played Skyrim on PS3.
Where it takes forever.
It came out at the end of Xbox One.
No, 360.
360, yeah.
Xbox One is the one we're
I forgot,
on now.
yeah. Like, which ones are we on now? But 6...
Towards the end of the cycle.
Yes. It was enough that they didn't release it, or that you had to buy it again. It wasn't part of that, free upgrade.
Oh, yeah. Like how it was on Steam, where you got like the Legendary Edition later on for free. That was pretty cool.
Well, also all the Morrowind and all that, they were backwards compatible.
Oh, okay.
So I guess that was why it was backwards compatible.
That's cool. Yeah, I like those Elder Scroll games. They're pretty sweet.
Let's see. It came out in a time period way long time ago. November 11th, 2011.
Okay.
Like, literally a decade ago.
Wow.
Pretty much. Close.
So, like I said, getting into the territory of, like, Duke Nukem Forever.
Well, okay, but here's the thing about Duke Nukem Forever was the one thing. They are very common at rotating through their games.
Yeah.
So they've released the mini games, the swords, or whatever blades on the mobile, or actually everything. They released Fallout. They released Fallout 76.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it doesn't, like, between Morrowind and Skyrim, how long was it?
Actually, they released...
It's Oblivion. Oblivion was the one before.
Oblivion.
Yeah, and they
Skyrim.
released ESO since then.
I'll look up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They released the ESO after Skyrim. That was like the next game. in that kind of vein.
Mm-hmm.
So between Oblivion and Skyrim was like 5 years. So it's like twice as long.
Okay.
Now.
But where would you put ESO on that?
So ESO I will count. The other ones I won't. Like the mobile ones I won't.
The Blades, you won't count Blades?
No, like I count it as a game, though I'm pretty sure it was a different set of people working on it.
But it's not like a AAA title. Like
no, it's
like
not
a big
gonna
release.
Like it took time, yes, but it's not. It didn't take as much time as something like an open world game would.
So
I get that.
At what point are add-ons a full-on game?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
So like,
What's your argument here?
So like, WoW, it has some major updates
Uh-huh.
that are
Yes.
changing, world-changing events. That even though it's an
And the
add-on,
expansions
but
are
we're-
about as much as a new game is too.
Yes, even though they're
but
expansions.
we're not talking about expansions, right? We're just taking.
No.
Oh, no, I'm getting into this.
I would consider it DLC to a point, but it's basically a new game. Like WoW's an interesting case.
Yeah, well, how's special that
Like-
way? I feel like
I feel like it's the exception to your rule.
because there hasn't been any DLC for like Skyrim that's like wow.
Oh no, they're not for
worthy.
Skyrim. I'm not talking about Skyrim.
Oh.
I'm going to
Okay.
get right back into
All right.
ESO.
All right,
Alright.
let's hear it, Bill.
ESO. They have done some major expansions, entire world expansions.
Yeah.
Just in their games, the
Yeah.
smaller games that come out.
Well,
But
no,
they're not smaller.
no, not smaller. Like
Okay, that's the argument that they're not
ridiculous
smaller.
size compared to the original release.
Okay, okay.
Entire worlds.
Yeah,
that they-
see, you're
So-
big into that because I don't know of any of them.
So I'll backtrack a little bit on the Duke Nukem thing. As long as they haven't been as long as they didn't start working on it as soon as Skyrim came out, because that then you get into development hell, which is what Duke Nukem Forever came into.
So they did start an ESO right after Skyrim,
Okay,
obviously,
that's fine.
because
Yeah,
2014.
yeah, and it came out shortly thereafter. But if they've been working on the 6th version of Elder Scrolls since Skyrim came out,
That's
like
all.
it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's usually is because
Because they
sometimes
don't know where to go with it. Basically, they don't have a game plan. They're just like, hey, yeah, we're gonna throw some stuff around. We're gonna keep it on the burner, but we don't have a firm state. Like we don't have a firm release date. We'd like to see this out in 2019. Like that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Because some games, like you're right, they just stew around like that. And that's a good segue to the game that I want to talk about, which is Final Fantasy VII Remake, because I feel
my
like
goodness.
that one is like that. Do you know what I mean? I feel
Yeah,
like that one
they
has
revealed
been
it
stewing
at
in
the
the pot.
like right at the start of this current generation. It was almost as bad as Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah,
like they were released at the
absolutely.
same. Like they had the trailers at the same time. Cyberpunk 2077 is the same way too, except for we've actually got information on that one recently.
And they said that they would show that. The difference between Cyberpunk is
they did say that it would be
CD
a long
Projekt,
time.
Yes, they said, here's a taste, but we're not going to give you anything more until we know what we're actually
I wasn't
gonna do.
aware of that until this year when Bill told me about it.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was just gone. Like I thought the whole thing was gone.
No, yeah, I'm excited about that. But Final Fantasy VII Remake got a demo. When was it? 2 days ago?
Did they decide to do it episodic?
The game itself is going to be 3 games, yeah. So it's going to be like episodic like that. But I played the demo, and it was absolutely incredible.
Which one did... I forgot. The other game you were excited about. The 3 that's never going to come out.
Half-Life 3?
Half-Life 3. What was the demo on that one tied to?
There was a demo for that?
For Alex. The
No,
Half-Life Alex.
It's a prequel to... I can't remember if it's a prequel to 2 or if it's a prequel to 1. I'm pretty sure it's a prequel to 2 because if it's a prequel to 1, that's before the Singularity event that they did happen, so
Right. I think
wouldn't
they
be a
said that
whole
was
lot to
prequel
do.
2. I think they said
Yeah.
that.
Okay, 'cause I was thinking that was a demo that was tied to something else.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, they did do a demo of kind of Half-Life 2-ish where they were playing around with HDR. I don't remember what it was called, but it's just like you downloaded it was free, and it was
And it was just cool looking.
yeah, it was like
Okay.
you were at a lighthouse area where there was a lot of reflections on water,
So it was like a hardware demo, more
kind of, yeah.
or like a software demo. Like, hey, this is what you could do with your
Yeah.
PC.
The thing I hate about episodic games is Half-Life 2 is episodic.
Right.
And the whole point of that was so they could get games coming out really, really quickly. And then we never got 3. I think there's some material posted out about what episode 5 would have looked like. Like a script was released. But
I think that's one of my biggest worries, I guess, with Final Fantasy VII Remake is that they are doing it that way. I guess I see both arguments because in one, it's like, they're saying that it's going to be, a 60-hour game plus 60 plus hours, if you do every whatever. But at the same time, like, I hope they deliver on that. And from what I think, because I don't think that they've actually released what the first game, when it's going to end in the Final Fantasy VII storyline, but from playing it a gazillion times, it feels like it's not going to get to the point where the world really opens up. Do you know what I mean? Because did you ever play Final Fantasy VII?
No, the only Final Fantasy I played was 10.
Yeah,
and
so
I haven't
this one's
finished it.
It's kind of like, you do these things and it's not super open world until like after the first disc, because the original was 3 discs. And that's what I mean. Like, I kind of understand them wanting to be like, well, it was 3 discs. Let's make 3 whole games for people. Do you know what I mean? And hopefully they deliver on content for 3 whole games and they make this massive trilogy.
Do you think it's going to be the standard price or 40? Because they released like the Crash and Spyro games for 40.
Oh, there's
they
no
way
price. That this is going to go down in price because the production value is so high on it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, because it's not just a remaster; it's a full remake.
Yeah, it's a full-on remake. But man, it was so awesome, man. The little kid in me was just going nuts playing this demo.
Like I was really excited to play it too because 7, I've tried playing it since. Graphics are. Yeah. Oh, I can't get over the graphics.
I know, right? I mean, like, Cloud has hooves, but when I was playing through this, the kid in me kind of, was just going nuts. But the reason being is because I rented Final Fantasy VII because of the cover art when I was in 5th grade. Okay, that's the only reason I rented it, because he had a big sword on his back. And I was like, that looks cool. I bet I'm going to swing that sword around and kill guys and monsters. And I was super pumped about that. And then I put it in my PlayStation when I get home. And I'm like, what the heck is this?
A lot of dialogue. And
I was like, attack? Click, I push my button for attack, and then he goes out and attacks, and I'm like, why? I can't move my guy? So it was a big culture shock because I was literally playing my first turn-based RPG. Oh, and I did not know what that was. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But then I got into it, and then I started reading all this dialogue, and it was crazy because it clicked in my head that whoa, video games could have a deep story. I did not know that until Final Fantasy VII. Do you know what I mean?
Actually, there's even lots of stories behind a lot of these. They just never explain it. Like Mario, do you know those blocks are actually all the Toad people?
So
that you were destroying.
So, sort of. It depends on how far back. Now, no.
Oh, they change it?
Well, I mean,
did Han shoot for second now?
the thing with it is that I don't know if this was in the English one, but in the Japanese one, in the original Super Mario Brothers, they did have a bunch of lore built out that was about that.
Yeah.
And I think because they were I don't know that they were planning on Mario being as big as it was.
Yeah.
I think they were planning on getting a few games out of it, maybe.
Well, kind of like Final Fantasy was supposed to be their final hurrah, and then it saved their company.
Yeah. Yeah. You got 1, 2, I think 2 wasn't ever released to the U.S.
Yeah.
And then you got 3.
So, actually, a real side note. Did you pre-order the special edition?
Dude, I wish.
The first class edition?
I wish.
What does the first class edition come with?
It comes with a statue of Cloud. I think he's on a motorcycle or something. Looks really cool, though. But look at that, man. The price tag on it's $300 and something bucks.
Yeah, $320. You get a watch.
Do you get physical discs?
Yeah.
Yes, this is the physical one.
Because what made me mad was, Halo 5 has a cool, you got an Xbox One, style of it. Comes with a nice, metal tin with, the Halo 5 stuff. It's a digital download.
Oh, bummer.
I was wrong.
I really hated
You're
that.
entered in to spend this $320.
Yeah.
You're entered in to win a watch.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you get that watch because one of them's modeled after Cloud and one of them's modeled after Sephiroth, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. I looked at all that. Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna get the game. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna get any kind of digital
no
deluxe
bonus.
or any. I'm not really into the bonus stuff. I really don't care. I just hope they deliver on the game, and if they deliver on the game, then I'm gonna be happy. But it definitely is gonna be a $60 game.
Is it exclusive to the PlayStation?
Right now, yes.
Because it also says PS4.
Yep.
Yes.
When is it supposed to come out?
April 10th.
This year?
Yep. Yeah. You should go download the demo and try it out. One of the things that I think that they messed up on, okay, was that my roommate is also a huge fan of this game, probably even more so than me, and he was excited because of the modes that they've talked about. All right, so in the demo, you do get to choose between 3 modes. Okay, there's normal, there's easy, and there's what's called classic. So when he heard that there was a classic mode, immediately he thought, okay, wait a minute. So I'm going to get to play with those graphics, but it's going to be turn-based classic style, right? It's not like that.
What is it?
That kind of is a bummer. But at the same time, classic mode actually turned out to be my favorite mode. So I played it on all 3 modes.
Yeah.
So
the demo. I played the demo 4 times already.
Okay. What is classic mode?
Okay, so classic mode, let me talk about normal first, and then you'll understand what classic is. So normal mode, it's an active battle system, meaning you have combos. Like you don't just hit attack in like Final Fantasy 13 and they just go out and do stuff.
That's what I thought.
It's like, square, square, square is going to be a combo, and this builds up your ATB bar.
So is it kind of like how the fight system was in 10?
It's more like the fight system was like in 15.
Because 10 was like that, sort of. Like you could do
like
combos.
15. It's more like 15 than it is.
I'm gonna have a lot of people yelling at me if I got that wrong.
Because it's super active. You know what I mean? Because you can run around the battlefield. The battles are seamless. It's not like those RPGs where you see the little monsters on the ground and you hit one with a sword and it gives you a preemptive strike, or you run into one and it starts a battle. It's not like that. There's enemies on the battlefield, but as soon as you approach them, the battle automatically begins. It doesn't even give you like a warning. Cloud just takes off his sword and takes a fighting stance so that you kill these things. And then there's no winner screen. There's no victory screen. It just shows you just got X amount of gil, this item.
It's more like an RPG or but you're running in. It's just instant battle, instant go, and
instant stuff. Even the boss, like when you fight the boss, there's not even like a screen that says you won, and then your XP meter goes up and stuff. You just read on the side that you got X amount of XP. Oop, you gained a level. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it's real quick.
I want to insert into this. I was wrong. Please stop typing hateful comments. It is definitely turn based.
10 was turn based. 15 though is a lot more active, and it's more akin to that.
Which one was the MMO?
14.
Okay.
So the battle system. So you got these regular attacks, and each character has either a stance or like a charged up attack kind of deal, like a more powerful attack. So if you've ever played like Devil May Cry or any action game like Bayonetta or something, you know that my quick
Button
attacks
masher?
are exactly. Like my regular attacks are square and my strong attacks are triangle. It's like that in a sense, except like for Cloud's, like if you hit triangle, you take a different stance, and now your attacks are more powerful with square.
Right.
Okay, and then when you play as Barrett, you have his regular Gatling gun, but then when you hit triangle, he charges the bullets, and they're like big bullets that come out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's like your basic attacks. And then while this is happening and while you're landing hits and getting hit, your ATB bar is filling up, which in the original game, the ATB bar was your active time bar. So that was what was filling up when it was getting to be your turn, right? So in this, it's like slash, so like you got 2 little bars that start filling up. When you fill up one, you can cast a spell if you want. You could use an item, or you can use an ability. Okay, so that's like
a bonus turn type.
So there's more of there's like a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you're building meter and you want to use those spells and you want to use your abilities, but you got to keep hacking away to get that meter up and such. So that being said, that's how normal plays. Oh, and then you have to issue commands to your teammates too. Like they auto attack, but they don't auto use abilities. They don't auto use items, and they don't auto.
I don't know that I'd
cells.
like that mode.
It's like insanely like hectic. That's the first mode that I played it on, and I was like, man, this is so much to think about. Like,
it gets harder, right?
It was harder. Do you know what I mean?
No, I mean the levels get harder, right?
So that was normal mode.
But that was normal mode. So like, that's the other thing. Is like, you're not just managing Cloud when you're in normal mode. You're attacking and you're using his ATB,
so
but you got to look at Barrett, and he's got different spells than you that are more powerful against some enemies. And then you look at
so it's got some flavorings of a real-time strategy, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're actively like managing your team, like really. So easy mode isn't really hard to talk about because it's just like that. Except, the enemies are weaker. You're doing more damage. They're doing less damage to you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure that they have less life as well. Classic mode was really neat, I think. Do you know what I mean? But I think they should name it different. So classic mode, your characters do the attacks, the auto attacks, just by themselves.
Right.
So when you enter a battle and you can take control of them, but if you just hold still, like they automatically go run up and do your regular attacks. You can switch their stances yourself, but you're mostly managing ATB bars.
So you really are like guiding your
Exactly. See, and I thought that a better way to say that would be tactical mode.
Yeah.
Because you're letting them fight the battle, but you're dictating the abilities, you're dictating the spells, you're dictating the real important aspects of the battle, whereas in normal mode you have to do it all yourself. So but at the same time, I like the classic mode because you get to see the action, you know what I mean? Because you're not thinking about a million things. So it's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Your characters just go out there and do things, and you're like, okay, I got a thing, I want to use this spell. Ooh, I'm low on life, I need to heal. I need an item. You know what I mean?
So it's like watching Twitch, but being involved.
Right? Yeah, you know what I mean? You're watching this battle to kind of take place, and you're dictating the real key points to it. And it is like an easier mode. It truly is. But I have actually... and I know a lot of people would probably blast me because I think that's probably the first mode that I'm going to beat it on, because I had planned already.
Yeah.
When my roommate was telling me there was a classic mode, I was like, well, I'm going to beat it twice then. I'm going to beat it once on whatever the normal is and then once on classic, because I thought it was turn-based, But now I actually am going to beat it on classic just so that I can more focus on the story, because I'm really curious about what they're going to change, because they are going to change a lot. There's like new characters, there's more intrigue, there's like, it's going to be a bigger plot this time around, but I want to focus on the action and watching it. And then when I go through it again, I'm going to focus really hardcore on the combat and really getting that battle system down. So I get at least 2 playthroughs out of it.
Yeah. So is the AI smart, like as far as how it uses abilities?
They do. So they don't use the abilities.
Okay.
Like in classic
at all?
mode, you have to use
Yeah, I know,
them,
but in easy mode, do they?
No, in easy mode, it's like normal, but like I said, the
okay, so nothing uses
weaker.
abilities.
Yeah.
Okay, because another game here, not Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts. You can have one of the 2 characters with you, Goofy or Donald, or there's another one, but I really hated it because I liked Donald. He made good, he had good spells and stuff. Sucked at using items. Like, you'd give him an item, he'd use it when if it was a health item, he'd use it when he had a little tiny bar gone, and then he'd get down to where he had no life left almost, wouldn't use the item, and then die.
I wonder if that's why they did it this way, because
probably
that's a good point. You bring up a good point, because you have to do all the abilities and all the items on your own. Like if you're playing in classic mode, if you're playing in normal mode, you still have to do it, but you got to do it on the fly. Now, granted, when you're using abilities, when you want to use your ATB gauge, no matter if you're using it in normal or classic, the time stops. It doesn't stop completely, but it goes really, really slow to allow you to select what you want to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's
nice.
Especially when you have another character to worry about. I just remember that on normal mode, I wasn't paying attention to my other party member. You know what I mean? So the boss fight took me a lot longer because I was like, man, I'm not... Oh, he has lightning? Oh, man, I need to use lightning on this thing. I didn't even know he had it. I didn't even know I was supposed to control him. You know what I mean? I thought he was doing his own thing. But I'm glad now that he's not, because that avoids stuff like that. Well, he's not using my potions, and he's not doing bad things. You know what I mean? And you can still, in any of the modes, swap between the characters. You can straight up control the other character if you want. And
you're not doing it right.
That's cool.
Exactly. Yeah, because I played, like I said, I played the demo on normal, and I noticed that there was a special enemy type that I was beating like really quick on normal because I knew the weakness really quick. And then when I was on classic, I was like, this is taking you forever. But then all you got to do is move your left stick and you control it.
Nice.
So it's like you can do that at any point. So if you just don't move the directional stick, then he'll do it on his own. But the moment you move it, then you can control and do whatever you want. So when on those hordes of enemies, I was like, well, I know what to do with these to kill them really quick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But overall, it was just, it was like, that's exactly what I've always wanted to see. I just wanted to see him whipping his freaking Buster Sword around and just bashing stuff. And I'm like, this is so cool.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Especially revisiting those, because they let you play like the first little chunk, and it's not very long. It's like the first reactor that you blow up. And it's like these iconic scenes. You get to see them in 3D now. And it's like, oh, man, I know what that looks like from the original game. And now it's like, what? This is so crazy. You know
it's not all blurry. I know where I'm walking now.
Oh, man, that was another thing, too, because I watched some of the... I watched a thing on YouTube with the voice actors of the new one, and they were playing the old one. And the girl that voices Aerith, she had never played it before. And she was playing it with the guy that voices Barrett, who has played it before, like back in 1997 when it came out. He was like, yeah, I remember this, man. This was a huge deal. And like one of the things that was such a pain in the butt was, like you were saying, blurry, like the static background that your 3D character is walking on. Do you know what I mean? She was like having a hard time, like, and I remember struggling with this too, like getting on the ladder, because it's like, oh, where do I have to step to playing it. Engage with this.
I was playing it on a PSP, so smaller screen, still blurry. Still couldn't see it.
Yep. So but the new one I think is going to be really good. It's definitely a day one purchase for me.
Nice.
And I'm pumped about it, man. Like super pumped.
We probably should wrap things up though.
Yeah.
The regular episode.
Let's do it.
Finish last words.
Final Fantasy X uses a turn-based.
Go buy Final Fantasy VII Remake now.
So I bought a limousine. Spent $300 on it. Didn't come with a driver. I spent all that money. I have nothing to show for it.